Welcome to my room and to my channel, where we play games, we talk about games, we create things. Sometimes we work with audio, do like music production kind of stuff, kind of like art with sound, you could say. And we'll be doing all kinds of things on here at some point. Like this, to me, this is like an outlet for like creativity and experimentation. And I'm just still like getting my feet wet and figuring it out. But I want to do more on my channel. And this is where I'm going to put the things I make. And some of them, most of them probably suck. That's real. I'm a real person. I'm not some phony clown. I'm not a stage performer. Real people aren't perfect. Real people don't do everything perfectly the first try. And it's represented. It's like you can see it on my fucking channel. And I have my glasses off today because I'm getting sick of wearing them. They're fucking irritating, dude. They hurt my ears. They hurt my fucking nose. They get all fucking greasy and shit. I'm like, I'm going to try because I'm sitting in front of a monitor and I can see it more clearly than like sitting back from a TV or something. So I'm going to try it here without my glasses on and see how it goes. But we're going to play Silent Hill 2. I can't remember if I said that already. We're going to play Silent Hill 2 Remake on the PC here in a few minutes. That's the plan. And I've spent the last few days on and off amongst trying to get other things to work. I've got a bunch of stuff in the background that I'm working on. I've got some more music related content over here to my side. You can't see it, but I have a Digitact and Digitone that I've been creating some sounds on that I'm thinking about filming, doing something with. I've got some patches that I've been working on in one of my modular cases. It's not a gigantic case. I don't have one of those walls of fucking modular gear. It's a little modest case that took me like 2 years to afford. But anyway, I've got stuff going on. I've got notes I've written down with ideas because I decided like I should start taking notes when I have an idea. Just like write a couple notes down so that I remember the idea. Otherwise I forget about it. I want to do another game thoughts video where I discuss some game related thoughts that are kind of like relevant, I think, with some of the conversations that have been happening in the games industry. And it's from the perspective of your average game player and low-level citizen, an average person. You know, you're often getting the opinions from industry veterans that walk around real cocky with their fucking nose up in the air. I've been doing this 30 years. I think I know what I'm talking about. And you get a lot of that stuff, but I feel like you don't get as much from just like average person. Like, well, I've been playing games most of my life and I've observed the industry and the medium as well. You know, just because I wasn't getting paid to do it doesn't mean I don't have experience or opinions. And I want to talk about some of that stuff from the perspective of an average person, you know, and it's not scripted. Like I have notes. It's like literally like, let me look at one of my examples. Let me see here. It's a note like this. What could be done to make a console make sense in the future? That's like my note. Something I might want to talk about. You know, like the idea of a PlayStation 6 or 7. What about that makes sense? Because they're essentially becoming PCs that can't play PC games and have all these limitations and barriers and hurdles, but they cost like as much money as a fucking PC at this point. So it's like, what's the point now? it's no longer this unique piece of technology like it used to be. You know, a PS1 or a Sega CD or a Neo Geo, they were vastly different than a PC. Like significantly different. Everything about the technology and even the software was so different and unique. But now they're just like PCs. And I thought about maybe talking about that a little bit. Or like, here's another one. Who cares about Bethesda anymore? That's a note I wrote down because I was thinking about this. And I'm not going to go into it here. I just want to mention a couple things before we get started because like I have these ideas. And I don't want to just start with like, let's go. And I just like start playing the game. That's not what this is. We're going to play the game, but we're also going to talk about shit too. But I was thinking about this. Like Bethesda's like, hey, dude, we're working on Fallout. We're working on Elder Scrolls. Like we got a plan here. We got a roadmap, guys. We're going to communicate more. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, what the fuck have they even made in the last like 10 fucking years? Starfield? Like proper, like standalone console game or PC game. I'm not talking about like a mobile game or some app or something. It's Starfield. That's it. In the last 10 years, in the last decade, they've had one game. And it was like kind of mixed reviews. I didn't play it. Every time I've looked at it, I was like, I don't care about this. Nothing about this looks good to me. I'm not interested in this. This looks like the Elder Scrolls Oblivion with fucking with different skins on it. Like, that's what it looked like to me. I'm like, dude, it looks like the same exact character models that I played in 2006. Like this looks nasty. And it's like the same like stilted NPCs that just stand there and talk to you like robots. And I remember like the last game I played by them was probably Skyrim. And even that one at the time didn't hit me like Oblivion did. And I've been less interested in what they do as time goes on. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, are they even really relevant anymore? Honestly, like people that write about games, it's like, well, they've been playing that stuff for like 40 years. In their mind, it's relevant maybe. But like most people, do they actually give a shit about those games? I'm not sure. They're super dated at this point. Like it was novel when they were doing big open world games 20 years ago. Now, there's like a dozen or more developers doing it significantly better than them. Better graphics, better sound, better gameplay, better stories, better quests, better technology, better engine. And they aren't taking 20 fucking years to do it. And I'm like, how are they even relevant? Like, when's their next game going to come out? Another 10 years from now? PlayStation 7? Seriously, like who really cares anymore? And why does it take them so fucking long to release a single fucking product? I'm pretty sure they have one of the largest development teams in the world. And they've got like the backing of Microsoft financially. How the fuck is it taking them like a century to release a title? So I was thinking about talking about that a little bit. And I got other notes here. But we're not going to do that now. I feel like I've gone on too long already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do that. And then I think that's it. We'll go to the game. And I'll get my controller turned on. I like turning it on. We're going to start the game. And then we're going to watch this cutscene quietly.
Could you really be in this town?
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Could Mary really be here? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
Okay. I really like that little intro. So, I think I started to mention I've spent a few days, really, trying to get this to work. Between this and First Spoken, it has been an absolute battle to get the game to run well while I play it, but also to capture it well. It adds this extra layer of difficulty and complexity that I was not expecting. We've got a map. We're just gonna leave our car door open. Can you close it? Oh shit, you can. Oh wow, I didn't know that. This looks fucking great. I want to mention that for a minute here. I tweaked a lot of the settings back and forth to find the right balance for my hardware. I don't have the newest state-of-the-art shit. I've got a 10th gen i9, 10850K, 32 gigs of DDR4, and I have an RTX 4070, and like a Samsung 970 Evo Plus NVMe M.2 SSD. And it's solid, right? It's not, it's a few years old at this point. The video card's like the newest thing I have. But I'm running this game at 2K, 60 FPS, and I've got all the graphics cranked up except for shadows are turned down to medium. And I have DLSS set to quality. And then I had to tweak a bunch of settings in Windows, in the NVIDIA control panel, and in OBS to get this to all work. And I think I finally have it. I think I've got it. I'm feeling good about this one. I'm moving the camera a lot because I'm kind of testing the movements as I play here. I had to tweak. I'm using a controller. It's a Switch Pro controller. It works with the PC. I had to tweak the settings on this controller. By default, this shit felt like it felt like it was 15 FPS when I moved the camera. Like it felt fucking terrible. And I'm like, man, why does this feel so off? What is going on? And I realized the controller's like sensitivity in the menu was fucking garbage. I had to crank it up to like almost 90%. I'm gonna show something real quick. If I stand here and I move my controller around, that's pretty quick. The default setting was about like this. But it was choppy and framey looking with the default setting. It looked framey and choppy, and it moved so fucking slow. Now, if I use my mouse, which I'm not going to do to play the game, because I don't know what it is about mouse and keyboard in this game. It feels fucking terrible to me. I can't play it. But if I move this with my mouse, I mean, look how fast that I can move that. Like, that doesn't look like fucking 30 FPS to me. It looks smooth and fast. But for whatever reason, with the controller's default settings, it made this game feel and look kind of like shit. And I found a lot of the issue was cleaned up with just adjusting the controller sensitivity. That was something I just discovered about 30 minutes ago, after all my other troubleshooting and problem solving. One of the biggest issues I ran into with this game and this engine on my computer here was getting it to capture appropriately in OBS. It was getting, like, playing the game was smooth, but it was beating the shit out of my graphics card. But in OBS, it was like, it had some kind of frame pacing issue or something. The frame rate looked out of sync and everything was juddery as hell. It was unwatchable. And I couldn't figure it out for days. I think I finally got it. Let's hope that the recording comes out well, because I can't monitor this. I only have one monitor. I can't see what I'm doing in the recording while I play. That has introduced its own set of issues. But the game, with the settings cranked up like this on PC, like, dude, this looks so fucking good. It looks so much fucking better than on the PS5. And this is not to say the PS5 looks bad. For a baseline PS5 that is nearly 6 years old at this point, it's impressive what it can do, especially at 4K. It is very impressive. And this game, really, it blew me away when I played it on PS5 back in 2024. But seeing it here on a PC with the graphics cranked up, it's like next level. Everything looks so much more detailed and high fidelity and immersive. The lighting looks superior for sure. And the fog. That was one of the things I noticed. There's two things that really stood out to me in this version. And this is the version I would recommend if you have a PC that can play it well. The fog and the reflections look so goddamn good in this. It looks so good. And this is an early version, I believe, of Unreal Engine 5. I'm going to guess that they have improved upon it over the last couple of years. And it probably runs better and has some additional exciting looking effects. I'm going to save it here at this save point. And what I've done, this kind of sucks for me a little bit, because I thought I got this working very well yesterday. And yesterday I played this all the way up to the apartments and recorded it. And when I watched it back, and you know what, let's go ahead and save over that. When I watched it back, I just wasn't happy with the recording. It still looked choppy and juddery. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. Why is it still doing this?
Oh, it's like someone's groping around my skull.
Okay. My last test I did, I played through this beginning little area to test it out after changing some settings. And I think I've got it. And like, something else I wanted to mention. There's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to PC. There's no 1 minute, because I was seeing this shit when I was looking things up online and trying to understand how some of the settings worked and what they did. And I'll talk about that after this little cutscene here. Let's check this out.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I was just...
Hey, it's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah, I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But... I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. And it's not just the fog, either.
Is it dangerous?
Maybe. It's kind of hard to explain, but
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone. Someone very important to me.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean, my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry, it's not your problem.
No, I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
Really like that cutscene. I think the acting is fucking excellent. I could go over there and talk to her. I'm not going to. I like the cemetery a lot. I've been to places kind of like this. So I was saying, during my troubleshooting, like I came across like people's like 1 minute TikTok videos or like YouTube shorts that was like everything you needed to know to fix your issues in like 1 minute or 2 minutes. And it's like honey, that's not how reality works. That's just not how life works. You don't just find answers to shit like that in a minute. It's different for every person, especially with PC. Every single fucking computer configuration is going to be unique in some way. And therefore, what you're trying to accomplish is unique, and the steps to get there are going to be unique for you. And that's something you've got to spend a lot of time and effort to overcome individually. You don't watch a fucking 1 minute short and that just gives you the answers. It's not how it works. There's a problem with that kind of thinking, and it's fake, right? It's just so-called content creators trying to get like likes and follows, and they're just being scumbags to try and achieve that. You know, watch like a Digital Foundry tech analysis. And, you know, it's like a fucking 45 minutes or hour long. And you find out, like, what they did for that, like, hour-long video to explain all that shit took them, like, fucking days of misery. And these are guys that, like, they know their shit pretty damn well. And they've got a lot of experience. They didn't watch a fucking 1 minute TikTok and then repost it. But people want like a quick, easy solution to everything. And it's not how life works. I never noticed this little path over here before. It's too bad I can't open that. You can see there's a path, and it goes to what looks kind of like a little dock over there. There's water over there, I believe. Yeah, if I look at the map, it's the edge of Toluca Lake. This looks so good. It really does. It's super impressive. They've got all their stacked lumber here, and they stacked it up like very carefully so it wouldn't rot. And then they let it rot anyway. I don't know, it looks like it's been there a long time. We can jog. We can do that. There is like a depth of field effect in this game. It's kind of hard to see it clearly because there's so much fog. But the further out in the distance that you look, the more out of focus everything is. And that's an effect that you don't typically see in games. And I want to say it's like a very like hardware intensive effect. And so I think by default, like most developers just choose not to implement it. But it adds such a cinematic look. I love the way it looks. And it was probably just kind of like slightly out of focus using a filter. But I remember Blue Dragon on the Xbox 360 did something like that. And I remember back in the day when I played that, it blew me away. I'm like, man, this looks so good. This looks so good. And then we like never got any more games that looked that good. I feel like Mistwalker, and I forget, they worked with some other developer. I think another developer did the majority of the heavy lifting on their games. I can't remember who it was. But Mistwalker's games on the 360 are still very impressive. And I feel like we started to see this like next generation of Japanese games back in like the early like 2000 and whenever that was, between like 6 and 8. And then it just all vanished. And everything started looking kind of like cheap and not very impressive. This area here in my capture always came out really fucking juddery. And I'm hoping it looks a little bit better now. I guess we'll see when we check it out. Went to town to get the window fixed. Spare keys in the drawer. Everything's so like clean and high res. It's almost too clean, you would think, for Silent Hill. But it gives it it doesn't look sterile. Everything looks really cluttered and dirty.
Hello? Anyone in here?
I noticed this wall here. Like, first of all, like everything has a lot of variation to it. You know, like this wall doesn't just look like the same repeated textures over and over. It looks like it has a lot of variation. And then when you get up close to it, these bricks have what I think might be called parallax occlusion mapping. I'm not sure if that's the right term. But the textures look like they're 3D, the bricks. But I believe it's just a flat surface that appears like an illusion. It does not actually have depth to it. Like geometric depth. And that's an effect I remember seeing in an ATI tech demo, like over 20 years ago. It looks very impressive here. Floor is all wet. Looks so dirty and grungy in here. There's this hole in the ceiling, and it almost looks kind of like a person fell through it. There's a piece of the roof right there. This definitely feels more responsive now that I adjusted the controller sensitivity. I got the key. Some naughty posters on the wall. Kind of. Somebody's jacket over there. I've played through the beginning now a few times, so I'm gonna take my time, but I'm also not gonna waste time, is the plan. I want to get to the apartments in this session here, and I don't want to take too long doing it. This is kind of just the introduction to the game. My plan with this game, I don't think I mentioned this. I want to try playing through the game and recording it all and putting that up on my channel. I don't typically play through any of the games on my channel. I've always had this approach, and let's check this out here. Look at that. If you just stop for a minute and look at everything, it looks very fucking high fidelity and sharp and clean, and has a nice look. You know, it almost looks better than the CGI, like, pre-rendered backgrounds from back in the day. If I'm not mistaken, this is meant to represent sort of a callback to the original Silent Hill 2, where I think you got your first weapon and enemy encounter in an area very similar to this. My approach on my channel was kind of meant to be similar to like the Giant Bomb quick looks I used to watch like 15 years ago. I used to watch Giant Bomb like back in like 2008, like 2013 or something like that. 2014 maybe. And I liked that format where they just played a game for an hour or two and talked about it. And that was it. It wasn't like a let's play through the whole game kind of thing. Every once in a while, they had like a video series where they did that, but that was like a separate type of video series. And now when you look on YouTube or maybe Twitch or something, that's what like a lot of people are doing. They're just playing through every single game, and they'll have like 20 videos or 30 videos where they just play through the whole thing. And they'll play it for like 10 or 12 hours per session. And they'll have like a chat window up on the screen, and I'm not currently interested in doing that specific format, but I think this is the first game I want to try playing through and publishing it on my channel. My goal here is to get full screen quality capture that looks good. I had to make a couple of compromises with the capture fidelity. Like, it's not rendering multiple frames. It's just doing a single pass. I'd have look ahead disabled because I had to make some sacrifices and compromises to get everything to run well and capture well. But I think we're still getting a pretty nice high quality capture. And I didn't want to compromise the game very much. I wanted to really showcase how good this game looks when you've got it cranked up, when you've got all the settings mostly maxed out. Essentially, shadows is the one thing that's really set to medium instead of high. But I think it still looks really fucking good. And I wanted to capture that. I wanted to showcase that. You know, I have ray tracing enabled. I've seen people play this game on YouTube and they'll turn ray tracing off so that they have better performance. And it's like, dude, like, I feel like this is one of the games you really want ray tracing on for. A game like this, it's a slow-paced game. Look how slow we're moving, right? And it's a survival horror game. It's not supposed to be like a competitive shooter where you're playing it at like 240 FPS or something. And it's all about like lighting and shadows and atmosphere. It's about atmosphere and capturing that. You know, it's like turning the fog off so it runs better. I refuse to do that. They use a lot of reverb in this game. All of these little, like, anytime there's like a little cutscene and there's some music, some like ambient kind of music like that, it is just fucking washed in reverb. Got our map. It's like a really lush, high quality reverb that's like 100% wet. It's like just, they added that effect and set it to like maximum 100%. This little area here, look at these reflections. Look how good that looks. I want to say that's from the ray tracing setting being on. I think it's ray traced reflections, and it just looks fucking stunning. It looks almost as good as the reflections in Cyberpunk 2077. Looks great. It adds to the immersion here. Look at that. Looks fucking excellent. And then combined with all of the, like, the variation and the sidewalk here. This whole section of the sidewalk has a lot of variation in it. There's this like moss and weeds over here and all the cracks and shit in the sidewalk, grass growing up between the cracks. And then there's like some kind of stain on the ground here. Got these like paper boxes. I think this game takes place in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. It's what it looks like to me. I didn't go online and look up the lore or anything. Looks like another stack of lumber back there and a little trailer. I typically don't look shit like that up. I like to experience something on my own and form my own opinions. I don't typically go online and then look, I don't go watch somebody's fucking YouTube video that breaks down all the lore and tells me all the fucking spoilers and the best way to do everything. It ruins it, man. It ruins it. There's something special about having your own unique perspective and personal experience with something. Like it used to be back in the day when you'd buy like a CD or a cassette tape, or you'd get like a VHS of a movie or something. And there was no going online and looking all that shit up. You just had an experience that was uniquely your own. And you would form like your own personal sort of connection and your own lore. And it felt more meaningful. And when you just go up and you watch some shithead tell you everything, it fucking takes that away from you. They're stealing that from you. This transparency looks amazing, by the way. It looks so much better than on the PS5. Looking through, first of all, like we walk over here. Actually, over here even. This looks like a medical kit that somebody opened ahead of me. And then we come over here, and there's just like a nice little vibe here. And you've got this water dripping down from the roof onto the ground. There's more water dripping here. You know, I remember playing Resident Evil Code Veronica on the Sega Dreamcast. And in the early part of that game, it's raining. And that shit blew my mind. That looked like the next generation when I saw that shit. I couldn't believe how good that looked at the time. And like, look at this. Like, it's not raining here, but there's some dripping water. And the fog more than makes up for it, along with those reflections. And this transparency on the door, on this glass, with the, like, I don't know what you call that texture on the glass. I'm sure there's a name for it. But just the way that looks, it looks fucking realistic, man. And then when you walk in here, and then looking back through it, what a vibe that's got. That looks so damn good. Looks damn good. There's like a type of reverb in here that makes it sound like I'm in this space. It's kind of hard to hear if you don't have the volume cranked up. But if you play this game and you've got headphones on and it's nice and like present, you'll hear it. That's the way I recommend to play this game, is with headphones. If you have a PS5 and you're going to play this, you can plug your headphones right into the PS5 controller. And I highly recommend doing that for this game. Miss Cassandra, a customer came in today, ordered a mixed bouquet, red and white. I tried to explain it's bad luck, but he couldn't decide on just one. He seemed a bit off. He looked at me like I wasn't even there. And then he just left. He said he'd be back to pick him up later. I just wanted to let you know, since... What's that say? Since I might be gone by then. Even that paper looks kind of realistic. Look at that. There's some broken glass. Water's dripping in. You can see some broken glass pieces on the floor. And they've got a little bit of a reflection on them. The water's dripping right on top of that glass panel. And then there's some plants growing up in the corner. All the plants in here are dead. Like they've been abandoned for a very long time. But there's new life coming in from these broken windows. There's like an ivy coming down the wall here and growing across the floor. And pretty soon this greenhouse will be full of plant life and probably animal life as well. Oh. I never noticed that. Did you see that? There was a fucking, like a bug. I never saw that, dude.
What is this?
This almost looks like James's car. And I've seen it in more than one area in this town. It's almost like there's different versions of his car here. I'm pretty sure this was a popular type of car in the 70s. I want to say my grandmother had a car like this. There's a pile of tires back there. Run up ahead.
More of that stuff.
Huh. Yeah, there's a weird feeling right here. Look at all the clutter and garbage everywhere. There's something else I wanted to mention. See these leaves blowing around? It looks really cool. It's a neat effect. There is a minor trail behind them. You can see like a little blur. However, it is like vastly improved over the PlayStation 5. The PS5, you can hardly even tell those are leaves. They're just like smeary blobs that just smear across the screen and they look fucking terrible. On here, they really look like leaves and there's just like a minor little trail behind them. I'm not sure if that's from DLSS. I'm not sure what it's from. But it looks a lot better than the PC, I'll tell you that much. There's so much shit everywhere. They did such a good job with this. It's like a bag blowing around. Wow. Never saw that. Let's go up here. I think there's a little cutscene right up here.
Hey, wait.
Oh no. Now this is a pretty big game. Like this game isn't short. It's not the kind of thing you finish in a few hours or in one day. My memory is this game's actually pretty fucking long. And there's a lot of variety to it. Like you go to quite a few different areas that all look unique. And each area has like a different instant. I don't know what that word is. But like it'll start off looking kind of nice and then there's like a version of it that's degraded and then there's another version of it that's even more degraded. I'm not gonna read that. There's too many fucking blurted out words. Or whatever, blurred out words. Redacted. Now, I don't know for sure. I wasn't there. And there's like a lot of things you have to like take into account. But I'm pretty sure I was reading that this game only cost like $30 or $40 million. And this looks like a proper like AAA game. It looks really fucking good. It has excellent voice acting and motion capture. It feels good to play. Like everything about it is fucking great. And it looks like a proper like next gen sort of experience. And they did that like significantly less than what you're seeing for your like typical high production game. And like maybe there's like, you know, maybe they didn't pay their people well. That's probably part of it. And I think this developer's based in a different country. They're not based in the United States. I'm not sure exactly where they're from, to be honest. I didn't dig deep into it. But it's worth like kind of putting that in perspective compared to some of these other games that you hear about coming out that are like $200 to $300 million budgets, and then they look kind of like shit and run like shit, and they feel like they're half finished, and they got all kinds of issues, and it took them like 8 years to fucking do it. And you got to wonder, like, what the hell's going on at some of these companies that it's taken so long and costing so much money, when a smaller developer that I'm pretty sure these guys, Blooper Team, are kind of considered like an indie developer. I never noticed this before. There's like a little plant here that someone's taking care of, and it looks super healthy. Look at that. It's like the healthiest looking plant in the whole fucking game. Is someone living around here that I don't know about that's taking care of this thing? In this fucking hellhole? Because everything else around here looks like fucking overgrown with weeds, and it looks kind of yellowed and grungy. And this one little plant here looks like super fucking healthy and happy. It's got a little watering can. Somebody's coming over here. Even the potting soil looks fresh. Like somebody just repotted it. Man, I love this game. I like environments like this. I like atmosphere like this, especially when it's done like to a high level of fidelity. I like the immersion. Like, you know, it feels like I'm in a world like this. I liked The Last of Us Part 1 Remake on PS5 and The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster? Whatever the hell that one's called on the PS5. And I believe those are available on PC. And at some point I want to get those and play those on my channel. I would probably do a full playthrough of those as well. But I want to do them like back to back. I don't want to just get one and play it and then like a year later do the other one. I would want to play those together. I really like those games. I've done this a few times now, so it's having less of an effect on me. But the idea of crawling under this fucking door, following that thing in here, is pretty fucking unsettling. And there's definitely a fucking vibe inside of this fucking grungy-ass garage that I'm now trapped inside of. Here we go, we got another save point. The cloth animates in this game at 30 FPS, even though I have the rest of the game is running at 60. It looks a little weird. It does look a little weird, but I'll tell you what, it looks better. It looks better to me than it was. I had to fix some settings on my monitor. There was some kind of like timing issue going on. Let's save it. Okay. I can't remember if I mentioned this already. This is a FreeSync monitor that runs at 75 hertz. And I had to fuck around with a bunch of settings to get it to work properly with my capture and with the game. And I think FreeSync is actually working. And it's making this all look smoother and feel more responsive. And I actually didn't even know this monitor supported FreeSync until like 2 days ago. Got our nutrient supplement for adults only. That bottle looks fucking big. That looks like a big ass bottle, actually. Hell yeah. It's like a 70s energy drink with a child-proof cap on it. Table, it looks like one person was sitting here eating. It's like a meal, an empty plate from one person with a beer. TV remote control, and there's a little TV there. The way these rooms look, they look lived in. These look like real rooms that have been lived in, and then, you know, they've decayed and they've been abandoned. Like, it really has that look. Somebody was sleeping here on a mattress. I don't think I ever noticed that. They were sleeping on a mattress and like squatting in this abandoned hallway. And there's like a beer bottle and a pack of cigarettes next to it. Let's go ahead and do this.
Stay back.
It's like kind of unresponsive here. You bastard. You son of a bitch. Fuck you.
Is this what I saw in the fog? Whatever it is, it's not human.
I've been having issues with this. I might have to heal. So I've been testing this out. So I've played through this here a couple times recently. And my experience in this PC version here, with everything set to standard difficulty, is these fucking guys are like way goddamn harder than on the PS5. On the PS5, I finished the game back when it came out, and then I got to New Game Plus. Look at that. It's really high fidelity. You can see rust on the fucking needle. The little finger part next to the plunger looks like it's got a transparency effect on it. And that's just the thought of him plunging that into his fucking body. But that's what we do. I've fucked around a little bit with New Game Plus on the PS5, and it's harder. This feels harder than New Game Plus on the PS5. And it's weird. I don't know why that is. I wish I knew what she was saying. I wonder if that's something you can hear if you like play through the game a bunch of times and unlock a bunch of shit. If maybe in one of the later playthroughs you can hear that. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it. Just keep going.
Where are you, Mary?
You can break those windows and sometimes find useful items inside cars. There's some kind of little like secret over here. I think it's another callback to the original game on the PS2. Yeah, this feels so much more responsive. Just simply adjusting the controller sensitivity. I really recommend anybody that plays this look into that. I think it helps a lot.
Is that?
So this here, we pick up this matchbook. It says Bar Neely's, or Neely's Bar. And that looks like James. Like, that looks like his corpse. Like a version of himself already tried doing this. And he perished here. And he must have been carrying a bag. And there's like that monster vomit splattered over here all the way onto this wall. If you're reading this, leave. This place is not what it seems. Sometimes you just have to look behind. Run away, run away, run away. Over and over. It's like he's leaving a message. It's almost like he knew, like he figured out that this was some kind of loop or something, and he was like doing this over and over. And he left a message to another version of himself in case he perished. It's kind of what that seems like. Because we'll see this kind of thing more than once. I remember seeing those fucking things crawling on the ground like that on the PlayStation 2. I pre-ordered this game back whenever the hell it came out. I mean, I'm not quite sure. It might have been 2003, 2002, whenever the fuck it was. I used to pre-order all my games back then. Because that's how you got them. You didn't just go on Amazon and fucking buy it. If you didn't pre-order the game, oftentimes you didn't get that fucker. They might sell out in the store. And who knows if they're going to get more copies? If they do, it might be months of a wait. So I always pre-ordered my games, the ones I really wanted. And I pre-ordered this because it looked visually impressive when I saw screenshots in magazines. And I wanted that experience that Sony was promising of like CGI-like graphics on the PS2 that we weren't getting. And when I saw screenshots of this, I'm like, dude, this looks amazing. I wasn't really I didn't play survival horror games. And I certainly didn't play psychological horror. And when I got this game, dude, seeing those guys crawl around on the ground, having to crawl through like, you know, like a space under a broken door, just the fog everywhere. It was too much. It was too much for me. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't play the game. I didn't get very far. Where the fuck was he? I never saw him do that. I didn't get very far because like I couldn't handle the game. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. It was so disturbing and unsettling. These fucking guys, dude. They are fucking hard in this version of the game. Let me see if I can get this fuck. Look at that. You can see that stuff like acid bubbling around. I almost feel like the controls are like intentionally unresponsive at times. I'll press attack and like he won't do anything. Or there will seem to be like some kind of weird latency every once in a while between me pressing the button and him doing it. But other times it doesn't do that. Fuck you. Oh, I think there's a door over here, isn't there? Here it is. There's a fucking guy in here. This guy almost killed me last time. I could not believe how hard he was. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Fuck. Come get me, bitch. How is he still alive, dude? How many fucking hits? Jesus. I was playing this on New Game Plus on the PS5 like a few weeks ago, just the beginning area. And there was shit all over in the game that I don't see now. Like there was some kind of letter or like paper here I could read that had a clue on it. Not this one. That man was here again. I told him he'd been warned not to come here. He acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. Anyway, he got up and left. He didn't make any sort of fuss. But there's something about him that gives me the creeps. When I look at his face, it's like I'm staring at a mask. And there's something underneath waiting to get out. I don't want to be there when that happens. There we go. I don't know what the fuck that picture is. I can't tell what the hell that is that I'm looking at there. See, that almost looks like my car again. Like it's a different license plate, but doesn't necessarily mean very much. Ah, there's another one of these fuckers under the car here. You bitch. You tried to get me, you son of a bitch. See, like, he just stopped instead of attacking. I don't know if it's my controller or what. Look at all these reflections here, how good this looks. Just the overall, like, vibe here, like, you can tell, like, this town is abandoned. It looked kind of like this during the pandemic. At least around where I live. They stopped doing any kind of like landscaping or cleaning up around the apartments here for like 3 or 4 months. I remember I went out to, like, I'd go to get my mail and the grass was like above my knees. With like, and it like went to seed. They normally mow the lawn and shit here like every week. Like to the point that it's kind of ridiculous. Because it gets so hot here. Like today it was 117 degrees. For example. And they will go out and mow the grass when it's like burned to a crisp. You would never want to mow a lawn when it's like 115 plus. And they'll do that here, and it's like, dude, you're killing the lawn. Like, what are you even fucking doing? What a waste of fucking time and energy. It's like they normally overdo it, but during the pandemic, dude, they went like the entire summer without doing, like, there was like garbage and debris everywhere, clutter, like the fucking grass all went to seed. It was like waist high. Dude, this place looked abandoned. It looked like it looked like this. It looked like this. And during that same fucking time, the fucking manager in like the fucking admin office, he put out this email like threatening people and telling them they needed to wash their cars and shit. And I read that and like scoffed at it. I'm like, you're a fucking cocksucker, dude. Like, you aren't even making sure this property looks livable. And you're gonna fucking threaten us and criticize us about how clean our cars are during this shit? Fuck you, dude. You fucking fat fucking prick. These fucking people, dude, they suck. Especially people in management positions. They get so fucking full of themselves. They get so cocky, put themselves up on a pedestal. And it's like, dude, you're just a person, dude. You're just an average fucking human being. At best. At best. You aren't better than anybody or anything. The door that wakes in darkness, opening into nightmares. You can hear these little wind chimes. There's guys in here. This was hard last time I did this. You fuck. He stopped again. It's like they're intentionally making him stop so that I get fucking hit. We try to lure him out here. Here they come. Yeah! No! Oh, you fucking bastard. You bastard. Fuck you. Man, they are so much more aggressive. What the hell? And like the way he like turned to like project that acid vomit at me. I don't remember that happening on the PS5 either. It was like they just went in a straight line with it and it was super easy to fucking dodge it. And like these guys, dude, this is like new game plus difficulty. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna smash this window here. I feel like it would be easy to overlook this playing this game for the first time. Like I don't know where to go. I went everywhere. And like sometimes you gotta break a window to get through like an area. They kind of taught you that in the beginning, but it might be easy to forget you could do that. So we get some parts here. It's like a piece of a record, some glue. And I think that's it. They're like key items that we need to solve a puzzle. This game has puzzles in it. And it's one of the things that I always found off-putting about Silent Hill games, about survival horror games in general. They would put these like shit puzzles in them. I find in this game, they're actually not too bad. Like they make sense. They're not that hard. I can figure it out and I can move on. I don't like games that have these like impenetrable puzzles that seem like they have no logic behind them. Like Myst. I remember Myst having like the dumbest ass fucking puzzles that made no fucking sense. Some of those older PC games would have puzzles that, dude, you might be stuck for like months and just can't make progress in the game. They would put shit like that in some of that stuff. And it, like, for me, it's like unplayable. I'm not going to play a fucking game like that. If I can't make any progress, any meaningful progress, when I'm putting my time into it, I'm done. I'm not going to waste my time with it. I don't like the puzzles in this game here. Shit. But at least they're generally not that difficult. Fuck you. Get away from me. Some of these guys will follow you for quite a while. Oh, there's a guy right there. Is he gonna come out? Damn it. Not sure whose car that is. This car doesn't look like it's been here as long as some of the others. Maybe not. It's hard to tell. Maybe it has been. I'm gonna run past this guy. You're not really meant to take on every single enemy. Oh, there's something here. Shit, move! Fucker. Fuck you, dude. You know how easy it would be to take those guys out? They got their hands tied behind their backs and they're blindfolded. You could just trip him. He'd fall on his face and then you'd smash his fucking head in. He'd be done. Man, he is not letting go here. I'm not picking that up. Let's see if I think he might have lost me. Good shitbag. how good that looks. Like with the flyers blowing around on that utility pole. The fog. The warped sheets of plywood. People were like boarding up their doors and windows. And there's this, what would you call it? Like a market, grand market. All the produce is rotting. It's basically completely rotted and got like mold all over it. Those pumpkins look like they might still be somewhat usable. Pumpkins last quite a while, usually. Squash and that sort of thing. Now I know the password here, so I'm just going to open the door. And I've mentioned this in my PS5 videos I did. I stumbled upon that fucking password. I was trying to figure it out and I couldn't. And I was getting fucking pissed off. And I'm like I'm out of ideas. This is stupid. What the hell? And I just like spammed the controller. It was just like over one of the numbers and I just kind of like hit the A button or whatever it is on the controller a bunch of times out of frustration. And it fucking unlocked it. And I was like, what the fuck? What? Like, that's how I figured out random luck and anger. But now I know it. And you get a bunch of fucking items in here. Healing items, some ammo. And I think it's a safe place. I don't think enemies come in here. So we'll get all stocked up. I like this kind of thing. Like I liked in The Last of Us, you know, you'd go into a place like this and you'd find supplies everywhere that you could use. You'd find like alcohol and rags and nuts and bolts, shit like that. Protein bars. I haven't played Silent Hill F. I don't have that one. And one of these days, I'd like to get that. I think it also uses Unreal Engine 5. It's just, I don't know. Anytime I ever looked at it, it didn't grab me like this one did. It didn't really quite come across to me as a Silent Hill game. It looked like a survival horror game, just not Silent Hill. But I'm still interested in checking it out at some point. I'd like to do that. I'd like to play that on my channel in the future. I liked the vibe when I looked at some of the screenshots. Not all of them, but some of the screenshots where it shows you in this like, I don't know if it was like 1960s maybe, like Japanese small town, and it was a little overgrown, kind of like this is, but the plants were different. It looked like a lot of ferns. It looked very damp and moist and humid. I liked the vibe. I thought it looked cool. Man, where the hell am I? It's a big place. Oh, he's still after me. He ain't letting up. And then there's another fucking guy there. And then there's another guy over here. They're all over the fucking place here. I can sneak in here and grab this little fucking healing item. This place, all it's ever brought me is pain and misery. This fucker is waiting for me right there. It's kind of weird looking. I'm gonna try to run. To see if there's anything over here. No. Shit. You fucking bastard. Fucker almost got me. I know there's some shit there you can pick up. I'm not gonna worry about it. Fuck off. Look at that. Shit's like burned. Alright, let's go in here. Let's get this beetle. They really nailed the look, man. It feels so believable. Like somebody, like whoever worked here in this little apartment office, it looks like they got this apartment right here. And then literally like the door opens into their office where they've got to deal with fucking tenants all day. Ugh. Yuck. Apartment 5 left his key, says there's a leak from upstairs. Gotta check it out. And we can grab that key. Look at this floor. Look at all this shit on the floor. Man. We can walk back here. And like you're rewarded in this game for exploring. You can come back here and like, oh, there's a door slightly ajar. I can go in there. And there's this cool little fucking like drugstore, I guess. There's a receipt here. There's some kind of medication. Looks pretty expensive. Your total savings, $0. Sounds about right. Anytime I buy groceries, it's like total savings, like 30 cents, 20 cents. It's like fucking pathetic. It might as well say fucking 0. Be honest. You aren't going to notice 20 cents. It'd take you probably like 10 years to notice that accumulatively. And even then, it's like, oh, now I can buy like a fucking... I guess I can buy like a fucking soda. I can buy like 1 can of an energy drink now. Some of those energy drinks, if you buy them standalone at like a convenience store, they're like $6 for 1 can. Damn. Fucker came down here. Normally, I think he's way upstairs. Look, the last time I played this, that beetle was like all the way down this hall. Like way over here. Are those footprints? I never noticed that. They're like dirty, oily looking footprints. Huh. That's weird. We can crawl in under here. I'm certain now. It's coming from that apartment upstairs. I keep telling them. Why won't they do something? It's unbearable. I can feel it seeping into my skin, pushing itself into my lungs. This little room here feels kind of safe. It's dirty, but it's not, like, unusable. I could make do in here. There's like a nice cool breeze coming through the window. And look how good that looks right here. It looks like as good, if not better, than the pre-rendered backgrounds we used to see in games. Honestly, the way those boards look, the way the paint peeling on the walls looks, the crisp, like, high resolution sharpness, the lighting, that looks really good. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised how good that looks. Just looking at it like this and keeping the camera still, that looks as good, if not better, than like old school, high quality pre-rendered backgrounds. This is kind of like what you fantasized games could look like someday. I feel like this game pretty much pulls it off. More so than a lot of other games I've played this generation. I could really use more games like this. I like this a lot. Somebody's jacket here. There's a suitcase on the floor, like somebody was getting ready to pack up and get out of here. Maybe they didn't make it in time. Something came through the wall. Something, that's what it looks like. That's unsettling. Ugh, how dirty that is. Look where their bed is. Just like crammed behind this couch. It's a tiny ass fucking place. What's that noise? The fuck is that? What the fuck? I never heard that. It sounds kind of like a sparkly wind chime sound, but also kind of weird and mysterious. That was weird. And then she came and washed it all away. It all started to make sense again. It's this place. I can't fight it. Gotta get my head straight. Quick stop at Texan. Then we're going. Oh, somebody didn't flush. Or maybe they did flush, but it didn't go down. Yuck. I feel like I can almost smell that. Oh, listen to that. There is a sound almost just like that in my fucking apartment. And it makes me feel nauseous when I hear it. I hear it like in my closet and like in part of my kitchen. It's like this sub-bass fucking rumble. It's almost just like that, but it's like it's worse. It's a lower frequency than that. Look at the way they got his finger animating that and moving it. We're making good progress here. My goal is to get to the apartments and then save it and probably take a break for a little bit. Because I did this yesterday and was hoping that it came out really well, and it didn't. And like I said, I made some adjustments. Look at that garbage bag. You can kind of see through it and see the trash in there, and it looks all wet. I don't remember even noticing that kind of thing on the PS5. It's just so much clearer, sharper, more detailed. There's more details everywhere. There's probably more objects in the environment. Another item we need to find. There's a fucking coin I've got to find somewhere. It's down one of these fucking roads. Oh, is this the pizza place? Or the burger place, rather? Oh, look at that. There's a fucking... How do I do that? Can't jump over this? I can break this. I never noticed that. Feel the craving? You just can't help it? Go for it. Happy burger. What you need is what you get. On the run. Grab something to go. When I come over here, that fucker gets up and another bastard comes through the door. I'm gonna try to avoid him. You fucker. You fuck. Fuck you. I'm gonna see if I can run through there. Hurry up. Hurry up. Go. Go. Pick that up. He fucking comes in here through there. Scared the shit out of me last time. Go. Jesus. Ah! Oh, wow. Yes. Yes. Oh, weird. We did it. The last time I did that, I tried running through there, and I crawled through that crawl space, and I had no idea that fucker would follow me. I'm like, okay, I'm safe now. And he came in through the crawl space right after me, and I was like, whoa! Like, I fucking jumped. It scared the shit out of me. Let me look over here. I think later on we actually get to the other side of this fence. And I never noticed it until the last time I played. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I know where I am. Every once in a while, the game hitches just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, overall, I have got this running really fucking well at 60 FPS. I'm like really fucking pleased with how I've got this running. Especially for my somewhat humble setup. You know, I don't have a 5000 series card, RTX. It's certainly not the highest end, but I feel like for what I've got, playing at 2K, an RTX 4070 with 12 gigs of RAM. I can't remember now if it's GDDR6 on the 4070. It might be. It's really solid. Like, I'm really pleased. I'm really impressed with what I can do with this. All right, let's go back out here. I need to find that fucking coin. It shouldn't be too much longer, and I can get into that apartment building, and I feel like that's where I want to start, like, really playing the game. I wanted to get through this sort of intro area. This is kind of like the sort of area that you would get in a demo. Maybe there is a demo for this. I don't know. Some of these areas, I want to say, like, I feel like you can go in here. Or maybe not this one, but there's some shops I want to say that you can access in New Game Plus that I can't access right now. It's like I can almost get in there. Blowout sale up to 50% off. What is it? I see a bunch of arcade machines. Some CRTs. I'd like to get a CRT, kind of like that one on the top there. That smaller one with the dials. They're fucking expensive now. Buying a CRT. Dude, those things used to be like free. They were just getting rid of them. As long as you like came and picked it up, they just let you take it. You bastard! You fucking kidding me? I take fucking damage from that bug. Son of a bitch. God damn it. Somebody tried washing their filthy ass laundry. That's easy to overlook. But you can come in here. And I noticed something. I didn't realize this. Because I played this game on the PS5, like I said. And I started playing it again on New Game Plus a while back. And I only did the beginning. And I remember coming in here and reading a bunch of books. And in my mind, it was always like that. But apparently it's only New Game Plus. Because all the books in here that you could read are no longer here. They're not even They're not even here. Or at least they're not opened. Maybe they were these books, but they're opened in New Game Plus. It was like there was a book here you could read. But it's a nice little bookstore you can hang out in. Feels somewhat safe in here. There's a newspaper article. In March of 1965, the town of Silent Hill was visited by the main psychical Research Association. After thorough examination, a team of expert dowsers from the association concluded the area surrounding the now historic Wiltsey coal mine to be highly active. They also expressed their hopes for further research and exploration of the gorge. Those hopes, however, were never fulfilled due to the location being restricted as a historic nature preserve, as declared by the Silent Hill Historical Society. Additionally, the idea was met with resistance from the local community, which claimed that the nature of the association's research would hinder tourist activity in the area. Questioning the credibility of our research and hiding behind day trippers seems like an excuse to prevent us from seeing what's really out there, commented one of the researchers. Unfortunately, none of the local representatives were available to comment on the matter. It's under the research section of the paper. The association. Isn't that something that Okabe's always talking about in Steins Gate? If I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I played through that visual novel. I feel like he's always talking about the association. Oh, I can go in here? There's a little couch over here. Guess it's like a waiting area you sit on. You sit there while you wait for your hair appointment. I saw him again. Or at least I think so. He says he didn't, but I don't know anymore. I'm tired. Can't find it. Doesn't matter. That scraping noise again. Is that an ashtray? The hell is that? With like a cigar butt? A cigar? Here we go. Oh wait. You fuck. No! Oh! He can get me on the ground like that? No, no. You fucking bastard. Can't believe that. Damn it. I was doing so well, you fucker. Damn it. Kind of pissed off now. There's one right here, but still. It's kind of startling. I'm just gonna get out of here. No, I'm not fighting you. No. No! Left me no choice. Self-defense. What does that say? Fuckert. Look at this little alley. Wait a minute. Did I find the little alleyway that's got a healing item? Where is that? I don't know where it is. I can't tell looking at this fucking map. Maybe I did, and I just don't remember. But there's this little, like, alleyway you can walk down. I can't get in there. They'll put, like, a cloth next to... Let me try going this way. This really does look good here. Maybe I did it. There's this little alleyway you walk down. Was it here? Yeah, did I do this? I think I did. And I picked up the... Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure I got it before I move on. Man, this looks so good. Let's see. So just go this way. Man, he just got up. Just keep going. Wow, he's trying to get me from there. These guys are like hyper aggressive. Okay, I think we're good. It's hitching a little bit. It's probably because I ran so far and it's like loading in some assets or something. Man, chill out with the music. I don't know what got into him. He just started smashing the thing. I had to throw him out. He ran off and cried he'd fix everything. I gathered up what I could, but I still haven't found one of the buttons. Half the record is still lodged inside, but the other part's missing. I figured he must have taken it. Come to think of it, he did run towards Groovy. Anyway, maybe go check up on him, see if he's all right. He lives over at Saul, by the pharmacy. Apartment 9. There was a hole here. It's gone now. I wonder if we come back here later in the game and there is a hole there. I can't remember. So here's one of the puzzles. All the items we've been picking up are for this puzzle here. And you find shit like this in each area. There's like some kind of puzzle that's gating your progress. And you've got to go find all of the clues or items to solve the puzzle. So now we've got this piece of record. It looks pretty good. And then we can do, what is it, this? And we can combine. And we've glued it together. And I can't imagine that this thing would play for shit, dude. But we're going to go ahead and... There's no way that would work. But we're going to go ahead and put that in.
Park on the lake. We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us staring at the water.
There's that reverb again. I like it. This key is cool. I'd like a key like that. That's cool as hell. Let's save it. Okay. Yeah, that looks like it would be kind of fucking difficult to jump through. Nice. We're doing well on healing items, which is good. I feel like I'm gonna need them. Came back after you left. It's fine. He didn't do anything. He just seemed sad. Mumbled something about getting out of town with someone. I wasn't going to let him drive in his condition, so I locked him out. His car should be out back. Maybe check if it's still there by morning. It's the greenish blue one. Plate number ending with 06, I think. Like how it feels back here. Check these vehicles. All right, I hear a bug. There it is. Fucker. I think this is the other side of that fence I mentioned earlier. Or at least one of them. Yeah. This is it. This is the fence. Because I remember seeing that green car. Let's continue. There's the car. It says 06. That is a fucking long ass car. That looks like the jacket that James wears. I'm just gonna try to run. Damn. It's so impressive. I really feel like disoriented. I feel like I'm in a storm. You did a great job with this. There we are. That lock's behind us. Can't go back now. And we made it to the apartments. That was my goal here. Got the map. We'll save it. Look at that. We did it. About 2 hours. I feel like that's pretty solid. I think I'm going to stop it here. I think that's a really good spot to stop. Let's do this. Bring that back up. There we go. I can do that. Okay. I feel like I was probably off center that whole time in the camera. Damn it. I was probably leaned over like this or something. But I think that'll do it for this one. I wanted to get started on this because my hope is to go through and play through this whole game. I haven't done it in a while. I want to do it on this setup, this like improved setup I have here, and see how it goes. And I spent so much time tweaking all the settings to make this work. Like I want to take advantage of that. I think I have there's a few trade-offs I had to make for like visual fidelity with the capture, because I'm not doing multiple passes, like rendering it. And I disabled, like I said, like I think the look ahead function. But even still, it's set to pretty high quality. So I'm hoping that the capture looks clean and high fidelity and smooth and sharp and really showcases this game's high quality visual presentation and its atmosphere and its effects. And so we're going to be doing that here. And then I've got some other stuff we're working on. I might go back and do Forspoken some more. Like I might get to the point where this game becomes a little too like emotionally stressful to just be doing this. And then I might try to do Forspoken back and forth. I like Forspoken. I want to play it. I have so many performance issues with that game that it's becoming problematic to play it and capture it. But I spent a lot of time trying to fix it. I can't remember if I mentioned it now. I don't think I did. But I discovered in the PC version of Forspoken, first of all, there's a lot of like judder is like the word that comes to my mind. It is like plagued with judder, where it's like kind of stuttery, but it's juddery. It's a better word, I think. It judders really fucking bad in that game, but it happens randomly. It's like this dice roll. Like sometimes you'll load up a game and it's like, it feels good. It's a nice smooth experience. I'm playing it. And then all of a sudden it'll start juddering like really bad. And it's like, what is going on? What is happening? And then you're playing it. You're like, is this going to go away? Is it getting better? And then it's like, no, it's not. It's like, it's getting worse. And other times you'll load up a game and it'll do it almost immediately. And what I think I discovered is that it is whatever is causing it specifically, I don't know, but it seems to happen after combat. You'll get into a combat encounter, and then once that's over, it's just plagued with judder. Because sometimes when you load a new game, or when you load a saved game rather, it might load you into the world and there'll be enemies immediately spawned around you. And like the first thing that happens when you load in is that you're like, shit, and you got to fight a bunch of enemies. And then as soon as that encounter is over, there's all this judder. And it's like, what the fuck is going on with this game? Other times you might load in and you're in like a safe area and you'll start walking around and exploring. And then you get in an encounter. And then after the encounter, there's like all this judder. That's what I think I discovered. It's something to do with battles. Something happens during the battles that causes the judder to start happening. And I had worked on so many different settings and adjustments between the game, between the NVIDIA control panel, between Windows, between OBS, between Steam, that like the overlays I had to disable, that I thought I had it working well, and then it would come back and it would still have the judder. And it's becoming like basically too frustrating and kind of unplayable. You know, like even if I can look past it and still find things to like about the game, I can't imagine too many people would want to watch that because it's like it judders all the time. However, I did discover a sort of hack, like hot fix or something that eliminates the most like egregious judder. And it doesn't eliminate it completely, but when it happens after a battle and all of a sudden it's just like hitching and framey as hell, I go into the game's menu to the graphics settings and I go down to, what is it? It's ray traced shadows, and I turn it on, and then all that judder goes away, and then I start playing the game again. And then when you get into a battle that initiates the judder, you go back into the menu and you disable ray trace shadows, and then the judder's gone. And like every time it happens after a battle, you toggle that setting and it seems to eliminate it temporarily. It's like it's flushing something in the system, or it's restarting some kind of state in the engine. I don't really know exactly what it's doing, but it seems to fix it temporarily. And it's really unfortunate that that game has so many fucking issues, because I like the game a lot. I think it's an amazing game. I think it's one of the better games we got this generation, and it's like unique, and it feels fresh. It feels like the sort of evolution of the medium from like a big Japanese developer that we're just not getting anymore. And it's just too bad that it's got these technical issues that were never ironed out. But I may still do it and kind of rotate between that game and this game for a while. And then we'll move on and do something else. I don't have a ton of PC games right now, but this is one of them I want to do. And then maybe soon after we're done with this, I've got Alan Wake 2 we can do. I have that Avatar game by Ubisoft, that like open world. It's kind of like Far Cry, but in the Avatar world, and it looks beautiful. I've never really played it. I've had that on my computer for a couple of years. Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition with all the DLC we've got on here, and I've only played a couple hours of that. I finished the game on PS4, but I never played much of the PC version. So that's something we could look at. It was something else. I can't remember what it is. Cyberpunk 2077. I'm not sure what I want to do with that one, because I'm near the end of the game and I've got like all this content unlocked. I've completed all the main objectives. I've got some mods, and I really like going in there and playing the game like that. But there's not a whole lot to do story-wise. And I'm like, do I start a brand new game? I don't want to do that. But maybe we try that, because I do like that game a lot. It's a cool fucking game. And then I even have some like kind of older games. Like I've got Trails in the Sky, the original Trails in the Sky that I got on Steam a while ago. And I have a Falcom game that I can't remember the name of. It's some kind of RPG, and I think it's all 2D graphics that looks really cool. And I even thought about doing not like a full playthrough or anything, but maybe a couple of hours of some visual novels to test that out and to see, like, is that something that's going to get blocked on YouTube? Not because it's adult content. I would play a visual novel that's not an adult visual novel, but because I don't know. I just get this feeling like some of those rights holders would be against people playing a visual novel on a like in a video, because a visual novel is kind of just like a book with visuals and dialogue and music, but there's not a lot of variation from player to player like there would be in a game, like in a 3D game or something. You're just kind of reading text, you know, and everyone would have most of the same experience. And I don't know, I have this feeling like it's probably gonna get like blocked, or it's gonna get flagged as like copyright infringement or something. But I might test one of those because I feel like that could be kind of neat. Spend like maybe an hour or so and start, because I have a couple of visual novels that are beautiful. Like the art is beautiful, the music's really cool. It feels like you're in this world. I've got this one where you go to a small island off of the main like country of Japan, and the story takes place on this little island where there's like a small town, and you're like a young man on a summer vacation from college, I think. And you go to this like beautiful summer kind of tropical island, and you're having your summer vacation there. And it felt really fucking cool. It felt immersive. And I maybe I do something like that where we just do like one video where we check it out. And then that way it might incentivize some people to check it out. You go on Steam and look at it themselves. Like for me personally, I never understood why people would waste their time on a visual novel. It looked like a dumb picture book or something that cost way too much money. And I never saw the appeal. And then one day I was playing a game that had some visual novel like elements in it. And I was like, I like that. That's cool. Is this what a visual novel is like? Is like this part of the game here? Because I might be into that. And so then I tried one, and I'm like, this is fucking really good. I feel so immersed. And I'm like, I want to see what's happening next in the story. I like this. And I got into them. I don't play a lot of them, and I don't have very many, but I have a handful. And I thought maybe having some of that sort of content on here as well. Anyway, before I go on and on, we're going to stop it here. And then the plan is we're going to come back soon and continue with this. We've got, as I said, we've got some other content in the works. I've got some like audio stuff that I'm working on. I want to do some more videos where I work with you can see some of the equipment behind me. I want to start incorporating some of that stuff into my channel and in other content, whatever the fuck comes to my mind. And I'm like, dude, I want to do that. Let's make some content with that. So until then, goodbye.